We begin with the latest on that stunning and historic FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago, the Florida home of former U.S. President Donald Trump. The FBI and Justice Department have not commented on the raid so far, but reports say federal investigators executed a search warrant early yesterday morning for documents Trump may have taken from the White House. The former president called the raid a siege and an occupation, complaining that investigators broke into a personal safe. Meanwhile, a small group of protesters took to the street outside Mar-a-Lago last night to show their support for Trump and condemn the search. Julia Wong is tracking this story for us this morning. She joins me now from Washington. Good morning, Julia. I mean, nothing short of stunning. What else do we know about this raid and what federal investigators were looking for?
Well, Chris, Eric Trump, the former president's son, told Fox News the search was focused on presidential documents. The raid, as you mentioned, took place over the course of several hours, and Donald Trump was not at the resort when it was carried out.
The purpose of the raid, from what they said, was because the National Archives wanted to, corroborate whether or not Donald Trump had any documents in his possession.
Now, the exact nature of those documents is unclear, and it is also unknown at this time what, if anything, was found. The former president said the raid was not necessary or appropriate. Now, presidential documents are required to be turned over after a president leaves office, but the National Archives here in Washington has had difficulty recovering many of those materials from the former president. When Trump left the White House, he took 15 boxes of records with him and only returned them after facing possible legal action.
So, Julia, we saw his supporters, Trump's supporters, outside of Mar-a-Lago. What kind of pushback are we seeing so far to this raid? Other people who are coming out in support of him?
Yeah, so there is a lot of pushback. Trump and his supporters are criticizing the raid, the fact that it happened in the first place. Now, the Republican governors of Arkansas, Florida, and South Dakota all took to Twitter last night to call the raid alarming, and they say it was a political weaponization of the U.S. Justice Department. Republican Senators Rick Scott and Marco Rubio also both tweeted out that what happened at Mar-a-Lago makes the United States look like a third world country. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy posted a warning to Attorney General Merrick Garland, telling him to preserve his documents and clear his schedule, inferring that there could be political payback for the raid. Now, Trump himself is claiming without proof the search was an attack by radical left Democrats who don't want him to run again in 2024. He even compared the raid to the infamous Watergate break-in when Republican operatives broke into the Democratic National Committee. Legal analysts say a certain threshold had to be met for the search warrant to be executed. Andrew McCabe is a former acting director of the FBI. Now, he was fired by Trump in 2018.
Have to go before a federal judge and convince that judge that there is probable cause to believe both that a federal crime has been committed and that evidence of that crime is contained within the space.
Now, there has been no official comment about the focus of the raid. The Department of Justice and the FBI are both declining comment. Chris.
I'm sure we can expect more developments throughout the day. Julia Wong, thank you so much for that.